Most dogs don't suddenly stop trusting their owners because that shift almost always happens slowly in moments that feel completely normal. And the most dangerous part is that by the time you notice something has changed, your dog has already started seeing you differently. At first, nothing looks different on the surface, and everything appears exactly the same as before. Your dog still follows you around, still responds to you, and still stays close when you move. But something subtle begins to change in the way they observe you. And it's easy to miss if you're not looking for it. Their attention becomes quieter, more careful, and slightly less automatic than it used to be. Dogs don't evaluate trust the way humans do, and they don't rely on emotions the same way we tend to. They respond to patterns, consistency, and predictability in behavior over time. Every time something feels slightly inconsistent or unclear, your dog registers it without reacting immediately. Instead of responding right away, they begin adjusting how much they rely on you. It often begins in very small, almost forgettable moments that don't seem important to you. A delayed response, a shift in tone, or a reaction that doesn't quite match the situation. To you, these moments feel insignificant and easy to ignore as part of normal life. To your dog, they quietly become data points that shape how they understand you. Dogs are constantly building a mental model of who you are and how you behave in different situations. Not based on what you say, but based on what you consistently do over time. When that model becomes unclear or unpredictable, hesitation begins to appear in small ways. Not disobedience or defiance, just a pause before responding. You might notice your dog pausing slightly longer than usual before following a command, or watching you more carefully before deciding how to respond. That pause is not confusion or distraction, even though it may look that way at first. It's a moment of evaluation where your dog is reassessing what to expect from you. Your dog is checking whether your behavior still matches the patterns they have learned to trust. And when it doesn't, even slightly, they begin adjusting their level of confidence in you. This is where most owners misunderstand what is actually happening beneath the surface. They assume the dog is becoming stubborn, distracted, or less obedient. But the dog is not resisting you in the way people often think. They are becoming less certain about you and what you represent. Uncertainty is what changes behavior more than anything else in a dog's mind. Not emotion, not mood, but the ability to predict what happens next. When a dog cannot clearly predict your behavior, they begin relying more on themselves instead. And that shift marks the beginning of emotional distance, even if it's not obvious yet. It doesn't happen all at once or in a dramatic way that draws attention. It builds quietly over repeated moments that feel completely ordinary. Moments where your reactions don't fully align with the situation your dog is experiencing. Moments where your signals feel slightly inconsistent or unclear. Over time, your dog stops reacting automatically and starts observing first. That small change is the turning point most people never notice. Because nothing dramatic happens and there is no clear event to point to. There is no obvious mistake, just a gradual shift in perception. Your dog is still there, still present, and still connected to you in many ways. But the nature of that connection has subtly changed beneath the surface. Instead of following with certainty, they begin following with awareness and caution. Instead of responding instantly, they respond after evaluating the situation. And that difference, although small, changes the relationship more than most people realize. Because once a dog starts thinking instead of trusting, everything becomes slower and less certain. This is not a loss of affection or a sign that your dog no longer cares about you. It is a change in how your dog evaluates your behavior and consistency. And once that shift begins, it rarely reverses quickly or without consistent change. Dogs don't forget patterns easily because they rely on them to understand the world. They adapt to what they experience repeatedly, and that becomes their new normal. And the version of you they adapt to becomes the one they respond to going forward. Which means the most important moments are not the obvious ones you pay attention to. They are the small, repeated interactions that feel too minor to matter. Because those are the moments your dog is quietly deciding how much they can trust you, and whether you are still someone they can rely on without hesitation.